This is where I'm going today, guys. Do you guys know what this is? What I'm gonna do?
On for the floating, right here is where we like to show you how much Epsom salt that goes into every tank is these two stacks combined.
Oh gosh.
In every tank?
In every tank. 850 pounds is what allows you to float completely effortlessly in the water. Then the water's heated up to 93.5, 94 degrees, which is like your average outer skin temperature. And if you do close the door on the tank, there is no light or sound. So the overall goal is to have a nice external sensory reduction, which is awesome.
So you should close it or you don't need to close it?
So I close the door on the tank. In order to say maximize the potential out of the experience, you would close the door, but I can show you some tips because not everyone does close the door.
Oh really?
Oh, I totally want to close the door.
Just, some people are either a little claustrophobic or some other form of nervousness, and sometimes they'll come back and then say close the door on the second or third visit. Just on their first couple of visits, they might need to kind of ease their way into that part of the experience.
Oh, okay.
Yeah, I might do that.
Right here, we do have some books on floating if you may like to learn some history behind it. We do have some books here by Dr. John C. Lilly, and he actually came up with the floating idea in the 50s. He was originally just looking to create an environment where you could study the brain without having extra influences on it. So that's where he came up with the idea. Then people were just really enjoying their experiences. So they were like, let's keep exploring into that. Then we got Michael Hutchins' book. He wrote the book of floating. He was more of like your journalist skeptic, being like, am I even gonna float? Am I gonna get anything out of it? So he got his publication company to pay for his first float, just so he could write an article on it. After he did the float, he ended up enjoying it so much, wound up writing the whole book on it.
Wow.
On the left and right here is our tea lounge area. So before or after the float, you're welcome to hang out and relax. On your right here, we have some peppermint tea and some water. There's some expression books around if there was something you might want to jot down or doodle after the float, or you could just check out other cool things people have to do. And then on this side, we have some coloring books and spiritual books and a Waldo book. So you kind of just hang out and relax after.
It's so nice in here.
Here is our one washroom. We do recommend you use it before you float, but you can use it at the end of the walkthrough if you need to. You just don't want to have that distraction while you're in the room.
Okay, I'm gonna go do it after the walkthrough. I can use the bathroom. Okay.
For sure.
There will be time if you need to do it that
Through the float.
So while we do go back to the float rooms, we do ask for a little extra quiet talking vibes because not everyone does close the door on their tank when they're floating. So if you do have your cell phone on you, we just ask to have the ringer turned off, please, because we don't want that to, disturb you or potentially somebody else. So yeah, come right on in. And if anybody wants, there's a bench there to put down your personal bag or something during your walk through here. So in each room, there is the space for you to change and put your personal effects. Either behind or just beside the tank is the 3-part filtration system. That's what cleans the water between each floater. There's the tank itself and then your shower. So you will be showering before and after every float. Beforehand, we have a pre-float soap on the left here. It's for hair and body. It just removes any oils or fragrances from you before you get into the tank. That way everyone's getting it as clean as possible. Then after the float, we have a nice shampoo and conditioner here for you.
Okay.
Over here on the bench, we do have a makeup remover wipe, so we do ask if you could remove it before you get in. If this one wipe isn't enough, there are more available in the vanity area there. And then in the bowl here, we do provide earplugs. However, they're not mandatory. It's your own personal comfort level with your ears being below the water. Each one of them has a little instruction on them, but just beside here, we have a little card. So this side shows you how to best put in the wax ones, and this side shows you how to best put in the foam ones if you'd like to use those. Over here in the shower, I do recommend this next step regardless if you use the earplugs or not, and it's what I personally do. I don't use the earplugs myself. It's a vinegar urine solution. I recommend you use this just before you shampoo after the float. That way when you rinse your shampoo, the vinegar smell will wash away. So just before you shampoo, tilt your head to the side, a couple of drops in the ear, just hold that for a few seconds. That'll give the solution the time it needs, that it's already salt crystals that could get in your ear, and then that's going to flush out just like normal pool or lake water.
Okay.
Last thing here for you is a little petroleum jelly. That's just to help protect you in case you have any fresh cuts or scrapes. The salt water will sting if you do, so if you needed to after the shower, you can just dry the area, apply something that would help protect you for the float. So there is no technical right or wrong way to float, but I do have a couple recommendations or suggestions. The most optimal position for your head is with your neck. Angle back like that, so the water ends up being just somewhere above your eyebrow and then right around your face. Now you might notice that this may cause a little tension or pinch in your neck, but if you start off or if at some point put your hands behind your neck, behind your head, or your elbows just elevated in general, that will help alleviate any tension you might get in the neck. Now the water will fully fully support you on its own. If you would like any additional head or neck support, we have a noodle neck pillow over here. This little halo here is pretty cool. This just goes by the groove of your neck. Gives you just a little extra head support while you're in there. And then as well, do feel free to play around with any other arm positions while you're in there, because what works best for you will be different for you, is different for me. So some people float like this, some people look like this. So kind of, you have a little play around time at the beginning to see how you settle in best. And then just over here, we have this little Discover Your Own Ways to Floating poster. So it kind of lets you know, or reminds you can do some different body positions or little kind of almost word mantras that might help you with your experience. Show you what the inside of the tank looks like here.
Yeah, and how I could get out if I get stuck.
So you can see it is pretty simple. There is just like the 10 inches of water. There's a heating pad in the bottom of the tank. In the very back, there's the filtration pipes. Up top, there's a couple of air vents for you. And then in this room only, there's these 2 little grab bars, which you can use to help sit up at the end of the float. And then in the front here, there's a little softer landing pad, just makes it easier getting in and out of the tank. Now, if you're comfortable, I do recommend your head at the back end of the tank. Your head and shoulders fit nicely between the filter pipes. When you're floating, you'll notice you'll drift a little side to side and front to back till you settle. So it's not that you would damage the tank. I just find if my feet are at the far end, they bounce into the filter pipes a bit more. I might just wake you up or distract you a little bit. The other thing that's nice is when your float's over and you go to get out, everything's in front of you. So you kind of just sit up onto your bum. I usually do like a little knee when I open the door. Otherwise, the door's kind of behind your head like this. I drip some salt water into your face trying to open the door.
And this just opens easily, right?
Yeah.
Like, it's heavy, but it opens easily. I'm not
Yeah,
gonna
you
get
just-
stuck in there.
No, just a little push.
Okay.
So we're gonna like float as soon as you walk in there, like you walk?
So you won't, like when you stand in there, your feet will touch the bottom. When you go to your knees will touch the bottom. Then as soon as you lay back, your whole torso will just get lifted right up.
Wow.
Yeah, because it
And then
doesn't
just-
seem like much water.
No, yeah, and then you just kind of, I do almost describe it like your pant seam, like this bit of view's below the water and this bit of view's above the water. It's kind of
Okay.
around.
Oh, so we're not totally submerged?
No, no, no.
Oh, I thought that
okay.
we were, okay.
Yeah. Now, let me see. Right.
Okay.
But the door does help maintain a lot of the heat on the inside of the tank. So what I like to recommend if you're not comfortable having it fully closed is to use your pool noodle or your face cloth as a little door prop like that.
So what you're saying that it's hotter with the door open?
No, hotter with the door closed.
Oh, so,
So if the door's open, some of the heat will leave through the opening. So
okay.
this will just kind of help keep a lot more of the heat on the inside of the tank. Then if you do have your head at the back end of the tank, you don't have any light directly coming in on you. So you can kind of get used to that sensation. But if you do get a little nervous or anything, you can just lift your head up, and as soon as you do, you'll see your toes, see the door's just how you left it. And then you can either keep on relaxing into it, or if you need to, you can find the door and open it up for a second. So you can do that with the noodle, or and to like ease your way more into it, you can take the face cloth, fold that in half, and it's a little more closed. And you can unfold it so it's a little more closed, and then finally close it. So I know some people who have done, say, all 4 steps in their first float, and they've got it all the way closed, and some people float with the door open every time they come back. So it's whatever has you most comfortable on the inside.
Okay, you guys. I wore a hat because I knew I was gonna have to shower here. I'm gonna get in the shower, wash my body, and then I'm going inside the tank. I will be closing the door because my point of being here is for complete sensory deprivation. So once I get in there, I can see, hear, feel nothing. So it's completely black, completely soundproof, and I'm in there for an hour, but I gotta shower. So I'm naked now, and I'm ready to go in. Okay, wish me luck, guys. I'm just taking a look. It's really warm in there, but I'm naked. I gotta get in. Okay. Hi, guys. I never had a chance to record like immediately after my float session or while I was there because I sat in the area and I had a tea before I left. But now I'm at home and I just wanted to let you guys know how it felt. They make you shower. You saw that. And they make you shower before and after. So this is like just my hair after their shower and I just left. I didn't blow dry it or anything. It's not exactly what I expected. I think I had really high expectations of floating going in. So I think that near the end, I was really starting to get into it and I was really starting to, disconnect. And by that time, it was too late. Like, it was done. But I did like it. I completely went, like, closed the door. I was in the complete dark. I remember hearing my heartbeat in my ears, like in the beginning, and my heart was beating kind of fast. And then as I was, like, starting to relax inside the tank, I could feel my heartbeat slowing down and I was relaxing more. And it was good. It was really good. But I think my second time, I'll know what to do better. And I won't have the same expectations that I did this time. But it was good. I enjoyed it. So I recommend it. Try it.